Let me just get...
Oh, here. Put your head down there. Here, take this one. There's one in there. That's the worst. Out of it.
They'll take it all.
They're David.
Yeah.
Hey, they love take on that off on another.
Oh yeah, sure.
You know
Isn't that
that.
what they'd be doing anyway?
Yeah.
There you are now, Peter.
Yeah.
We're going to send this around the world and they'll say, do you want to look into the camera and say to yourself, a job well done.
Oh yes, a job well done now and then.
This is my Uncle Peter, kilt working,
Yeah.
and there's the result.
And that's the way
3 lambs that wouldn't be there if he didn't hand rear them himself.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they beat you in.
And look at them tails running.
We used to beat them on bottles and then we...
Well, this was a great idea.
Yeah.
I was...
They do better than that too.
Yeah, but I was very impressed with it yesterday when I seen it.
Yeah.
It's less work for you,
Yeah.
and it makes them independent.
Yeah, they think it's their mother now. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But if you build it up, and then they obviously keep coming back to it all the time.
But you want to regulate them, don't you? And here's the mammies now. Yos is the word in English. Yos. I don't know what the word in French is, but yos. It's the missus. And tell us, I was wondering, intrigued, why do you have the car in the field upside down? Is it in case it rains on you?
No, we had that everything there, and we actually were going to get rid of it there, and I didn't. But, oh no, I took it off to get the front axle off it. The front wheels off.
All right.
I took it off.
So it's not there for rain protections.
No. I used to hold the wheel in one thing.
Right, well that's as good as anything. Yeah, yeah. This looks like it's getting done. Is this a new one as well? I haven't seen this before, Peter.
Yeah, this is meals of the lambs.
A disperser.
Them lambs get in there and they that's the yours, can't they? Hit?
Oh, very good. So the greedy O's.
The yours can't get in, but
Yeah.
they get the head in there, the lamb.
Yeah, yes, of course. Yeah. Good thinking.
And this thing here, that can go over
Yeah,
to make it smaller or bigger,
right.
you know.
So in essence, the technology is working for you.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is it has the wheels, so it's not as if you're bringing the bags all the way down.
You can drag it anyway, right?
Yeah. I actually seen a version of these over on the YouTube from an American farmer, and he was feeding chickens the same way. And he had them in a big square,
Yeah.
and he moved the chickens every day to a new patch.
Yeah.
And so every day they had fresh ground,
Yeah.
but he didn't have to keep moving them by hand or anything.
No.
They were all in the encirclement.
Yeah.
Very, very good. And again, it was just a case of lifting it.
Yeah.
He didn't have any work to do. Are you a Yo? What's your name? Mrs. Yo. How come you have 2 different colours on them? Some have the yellow and this one has the blue as well. Is that for age or?
No, well, it'd be when you're doing something with it.
All right, to say that it's done.
Yeah, well, doing it, that'd be it. You're dosing them or you're doing the feed or something. Or you marked them on the head if they were lambing bad, or wasn't easy lambed and wasn't too good.
So it's like putting a notch on them.
Yeah, you mark it to get them when she's going.
Yeah. Doesn't the field across the way look very well after the trees were knocked down? Torn down.
Yeah.
It really looked bad last summer, and actually over there you can see what it used to, well that's even growing the grass now.
Yeah.
Will they replant that, do you think?
They will. They have it. They probably, no, they haven't got it planted. They didn't plant it yet.
Not yet. I was reading their annual report. They did very well last year.
The trees.
The Coilta.
Oh, yeah, did they? Yeah.
Yeah, they did indeed.
Yeah.
That's the Forestry Commission.
Yeah.
It's they had a good year.
Oh, that's good.
Well, sure. Aren't you surrounded with their trees?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I could sow trees and like that and sell them, like, you know.
I know.
But at my age, I wouldn't get any out of them.
No, you'd be leaving them for the next generation.
They were about 30 years before they cut them. You know?
Yeah. You'd be wondering now, me as an idiot, I'd be wondering, how do you make money out of a tree that's 30 years old? It's taken that long.
How you get, because it's not just sowing the tree, you know.
Right?
You have to fucking prune them every year.
I know. Yeah. It's
and keep the urine.
you have to forest and.
You do get paid for that.
All
You
right.
pay for that,
So
yeah.
there's EU grants, is
There's
it?
EU grant for that.
All right. So that's the way you'd be keeping the bread on the
way-
table.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
And then it's the eventual
Yeah.
sell-off. That's
Then it's a sell-off. But the only thing about that is, if you come along and you sow here, you say, right, I'll farm now, I'll do sausages. And then you say, so you decided then to grow back in grass. You can't do that,
no, because you've
you know.
that's right.
You
Yeah.
have to wait till maybe you get 3 lots of tree there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
What
that.
is that? Not a
So
job that-
so it's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, what they give you a shilling.
Yes, they own you.
Yo, yes, right.
They own you.
That's right.
You're taking the EU shilling, and that's the
Yeah,
end of it.
That's the end of it. You
Yes.
see, you might say, oh, it should do that for you to change. But, that's no good.
Anyway, from what I was listening to on farming today, there's a lot of chicken farmers, pork farmers, milk. They say they're going out of the industry, and one of the questions they keep asking, and what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Because you know, if you're in pork for for a whole 10 years or 20 years,
Yeah.
you don't know what to do else because you've
No.
no experience anymore.
Well, the thing with dairymen as well, and they do be the one. They build these sheds and all mass concrete around it
That's right.
and all that thing. And then they're in that for a while, maybe then they give it up. But them sheds are no good for nothing.
No, you can't do anything with them.
No,
Yeah,
and that.
because they're built specifically.
Yeah, that's a massive money going into concrete. That concrete dead money.
Yeah,
Yeah, and nothing you can do with it.
no.
Not a thing you can do. Yeah. Dead money.
Here's this pair. Look, the three of them, they're happy now. Yeah, they'll be coming in to. Will you feed them again the same today?
Ah, yeah.
Right, yeah, they're very happy. They're no longer bawling, saying, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy.
They eat their meal, they don't eat.
So, but they're independent now to a degree.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you they live now.
Yeah. Did you have many pass on? Did you lose many?
I know, no.
You had a good year?
Nothing more than any other year.
Right, okay.
No, I didn't mind them as well because I wasn't able to mind
You weren't
them.
able.
I didn't lose any more than any other.
Right. So they looked after
That's the way it
themselves,
is.
yeah.
That's the way it is. Sometimes, here, come up here. Come on, here. Sometimes, if you mind them, you lose 2, and if you don't mind them, you lose 3.
Yes. So it's much of a muchness.
But see, people years ago never mind the sheep. Hadn't got shades or anything. But
No, there was nothing.
no, and now the young lads won't go to the field after them.
Yeah.
Above these sheds.
Too much work. But you see, everything's mechanized on a farm nowadays. Yeah. I was saying this to Ma yesterday. Everything's on a tractor or on wheels
Oh, sure.
or on a spray. And
All these big machinery done away with men.
that's right. That's right.
But everything is done fast.
Yeah. So in essence, and even the bringing in the hay and whatnot, nobody has tractors anymore. They get contractors in.
Ah, yeah.
You don't need to. It's cheaper actually to get a contractor and get the job done and off you go.
Well, you wouldn't got to buy these big tractors and trailers, the silage trailers and everything else. You want maybe 3 of them.
Yeah.
And tractors to pull them in that. And you have the contractor in.
Yeah.
And you have the man to drive it.
And they're responsible.
Yeah, you have the man to drive it. Yeah, right. In there.
Get in there. You'll be lamb soon. But yes, I understand. That's a far day from Thomas Hardy's, Peter.
Huh?
You remember Thomas Hardy, the writer, and he talking about the farming down in Wessex and how labour intensive everything was. Everything was done by hand.
Ah, yeah. Well, here that was the way it was.
I always remember one of the worst parts of a book I ever read in my life, and the horror of it was poor old Tess of the D'Urbervilles. She's gone down so low in society, she ends up picking turnips in January.
Right.
Now, did you ever do that?
No.
Well, it's the worst job because a lot of them lose their fingers and their hands,
Yeah.
and because it's so cold in January
Yeah.
and very hard to pick up the old turnip.
Yeah.
And then they have to chop the head off, and that's how they lose their hands and whatnot. And
That thing.
yeah, that's exactly it. And that's the time that you pick the turnips.
Yeah, they're going to be hard.
Rock hard, and they're out in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
in the worst possible land, because they don't have good land for turnips. It's pretty shitty. And I tell you, I read this and I said to myself, how lucky I am to be sitting down reading about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and even I was horrified at it,
Yeah.
but I was still sitting down in a nice warm house reading about it.
Yeah.
And to be actually out there, it's a great thing, that mechanization and the modernization of farming for people, isn't it?
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
The only downside is too many farmers are by themselves. Nobody around.
Oh, yeah, sure. If you're getting in contact, you don't want anyone till that time, and then you'd a whole year without anybody.
That's right, yeah. It's like that time you had the shearers in for the sheep.
Yeah.
They were there and it was great, and then they were gone and there was nobody to say hello to.
That's the way it is. Yeah. You know, stuff. Yeah,